I know we just did a quick little version, but for the sake of the minutes, bit of a roll call and some new faces. So Bob, I'm gonna start.
Bob Honifer, I'm a commissioner of HRC.
Sarah Johnson, I'm a senior planner for the city of Corvallis and manage the historic preservation program.
Coming, Autumn Peterson, chair of Benton County HRC.
And I am Bruce Anderson. I am a county chair, county commissioner for HRC.
Right.
Okay.
David Shepherd, Benton County Commissioner.
Shannon Bush, Program Coordinator with Community Development.
Morgan Driggs, Assistant Planner with Community Development.
Jay Sexton, BC, HRC.
Right. So we can actually go through the minutes. Thank you.
We've got Peter online too.
Yes.
Sure. All right. Let's go into minutes review and approval. Hopefully you all had a chance to read them. It was a lot. Any edits that we need to make?
But yeah, there's Mary Paula.
I didn't really see any.
On the on K, second part of issues I brought. Thompson Mills on.
Oh, at the very back. Okay. AI,
No, I didn't.
you didn't. Like, they're getting word for word. Impressive, thank you. So we just need to update line K to say, have your name on there?
After the Commissioner Fritz things, the rest of them are Commissioner Honifer.
Okay. Okay. Any other comments, edits?
Good.
Okay, does someone want to make a motion to approve?
I did it last time, I can do it again. Sure.
Second, anyone?
Sure, but I wasn't here.
All right, we will vote on approving the minutes with one little edit on item K. Acknowledging Bob's contribution there. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstaining? No. Minutes are approved and we have Mary O'Fallon, which is great. Thanks for joining us. All right, so Van Buren Bridge Interpretive Display. Oh, Adrian's here too, great. Do you want to update that conversation and
Sure.
then?
Yeah, not a huge update, but I believe Maria Paula and her husband, I apologize, I forget his name, I'm blanking on that. But have been in contact with someone at DOT to get those files from DOT. So I think Maria Paula, you might actually have more information at this point because I think we've kind of been taken off the thread just in terms of where that stands.
Yeah, so I just today asked because they should be like physically be mailed on a on a support, and so I don't know if we got them yet. But I mean, it will be if not now, it will be in the next day. So once they have the files, I think they know what to do.
Just generally speaking, that was for the purpose of using those kind of like CAD-based, I assume, visualizations for creating a visual display in the future. For Gabe and Sarah's reference.
So may I ask, what's the plan? Is to where to show this? Who's like? I mean, I'm sure there will all these questions will come from Rafael's group, but what's the typical? Well, first of all, where this display will be, and is there like a permanent thing? When and when will be displayed? There will be specific events, or it's simply somewhere there, always available and self-sufficient. the target audience, or there are multiple audience and different versions for different audiences.
I think we're in
To be
ideation
determined.
phase, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as many places as we can put it. I mean, I guess it'll live somewhere online too, maybe on the Benton County website, on the historic resource page, or even with the city, I don't know. I mean, I think so we have it and we see it, we can determine as a group and work with the city to see what we could do. It'd be great to create an event around it.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering if there will be like a place in the museum, Corvallis, where this could be like a screen, a device where this experience can be always available, or if on the site there could be like a signature, something with the QR code, that's something that then brings to, leads to something online. If this requires, I'm assuming, funds and who is going to apply for what. Just brainstorm. Of course, the first thing is to have that experience, and then we can plan how to to make it accessible. But sometimes, I mean, again, I'm not I'm not the designer of this, but I know a little bit about it to say that the user experience and user requirements are key to the design of the whole thing. It's different if it's uses specific devices, if it's just online, and if it requires an interaction with other agents, with other people, if it's an individual experience, and if for instance could be like an augmented reality experience, then I'm on the site, and I can see superimposed on the site what was there before. So having some indication for those who will develop that thing will help them a lot. So I'm making questions, but for sure there will be more and more specific from that group. The Van Buren Bridge, the Bioner thing. Yeah.
I think this agenda item was also to just kind of like get the word out. I already sent an email to everyone, but that ODOT is seeking feedback on their interpretive display.
Okay.
And I think it was today that they were at the Corvallis Museum in person. But the survey is open until March 2nd, I believe.
But can I see where is the agenda for today's meeting? Because I'm not sure I received it, or I haven't.
It came from Morgan this time, which is, I had typed, I didn't see it either till right now, because I'm always looking for Shannon.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're in the process of kind of transitioning a lot of this over to Morgan, so.
I mean, I can give you we're gonna talk about the driving tour edits next, and then coordinating with local cities on the preservation month, and then our standard kind of items from the public, items from.
No, okay. The question was, sorry if I'm interrupting you. The question was because if I was wondering if in the agenda there was also a link to the this display.
No, I believe I sent out. It might have been in that same email or in a separate email. A link to the ODOT's website with the survey.
Okay.
You can send that out again.
Yeah, send it as a standalone
Yeah.
survey. Here it is. All right, are we done with Van Buren Bridge? I want to make sure we have enough time to work on the HRC planning. All right, so our driving tour booklets, I have to see, Jay, if you're able and you are able to take a route. So I have the south route. Bob has been working on the
I guess it's called northeast.
northeast route. And I don't know, Adrienne, have you picked a route that you've been working on?
No, you want to give me one? I would love a route.
Okay. Let's see. So we still need the North Benton route. So either the North Benton route or the Northwest route.
Well, the north, I think, is now the northeast you had on the notes, so. It was originally named the north.
Okay, so that's Northeast. No.
Yeah, I got something from somebody that said that's what it goes, yeah.
So the Northwest Benton route, which is Mount Union, United Brethren, Charles Davis, College of Philomath. That
I'll
list.
take the Northwest.
And what's my assignment?
Let's get to yours.
Oh, did I just take somebody's assignment?
No,
No, I'm just
I think
looking
I'm
for
missing
as well.
one. So I've got the,
I haven't been assigned.
maybe we split that out. So I've got the south. Are we missing one out?
Can help getting them.
We do, there's plenty to do. I just went through the south route and the entire, anyway, there's a million notes and a ton of more notes. So the main things to check for, one, if you're driving the route, making sure you can see the building, make sure that it's the correct sequence along the route, because a lot of them I'm finding are off. So as you're driving the route, you come to a house that's farther down on the list than when you're actually driving it. So just check for, can you see it? Is it in the right place? Is it worthy in some ways? Like on the south route, there were some houses that were mentioned that we have zero information on, and they weren't particularly exceptional. So if we're needing to save space, there's, buildings we could probably mark as like, if we don't have space for these, let's take these out so we have room to, talk about the big ones.
What's our
What's
deadline?
the criteria? What's the criteria for worthy?
No, that's a loose, it's very subjective. Just make some judgment calls. I mean, if we have there's a handful of buildings like we found in our first working group that we just didn't have any information on. So
Right.
that might be something that we can have you do, is like, here's a list of stuff, buildings that we don't have information on, and maybe you can be okay, I found this and this and this. Would you be open to that?
In each route or in my route?
Within each, I think we have only three routes. But this route is very large, so maybe we divide it.
Which route is very large?
Your route is quite a bit on your route. So maybe we divide that.
How many properties are on that route? Is it just mileage is a lot, or there's a ton of properties?
So there's 15, no, 17, 24 on your route. So
That's a lot.
let's divide it in half. Then so I'd love to set up another working group time. Unfortunately, we can't all meet as a working group, which is really annoying.
Oh, public meetings. Mhm.
Yeah. So perhaps we can do 2 working groups, a 3-batch and a 3-batch. And try to come together with the things. So we need to have, by next month's meeting, I'm still trying to work on typing up one PDF that has just notes on his PDF that he created. I'm trying to catalog notes as I'm getting them onto one document, and then we're gonna have to basically suss out the actual text for each entry. So we need a working group to kind of review the drive. So you guys do your drive, and we can mark off what buildings need to go or stay, or maybe we're missing something big. And make sure we have our inventory correct. Like here are the structures we want to highlight. And then we can divvy up, okay, everyone read the little description and try to do a little cross-reference.
Homework.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, and what is my route? Am I splitting
Alright.
with
You
Adrian?
are on the northwest Benton route, which is. Adrian, how about you do Mount Union to Kings Valley Cemetery? And then you can take
Start at,
the United Evangelical Church of Kings Valley.
which is number,
Of course, on this, it just has X's.
that's fine.
From there to there.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of hard because you're already on that route. You could probably just keep driving, but just trying to make it a little easier.
Okay.
So let's set up a time at this meeting for a working group. Our working group last time was myself, Jay, and Adrian. Maybe, I don't know, Bob, if you want to do maybe me,
You can pick a time and see who can make it too.
yeah. Are you all okay with a doodle poll?
Yeah.
Because we had 8 million emails back and forth trying to figure out.
Sounds good.
No, a doodle poll would be smart.
Okay.
Doodle poll, it's an email and it'll say, I can make this Tuesday, that Thursday, you know,
And it
it'll be a list.
calculates who can do what.
It's got a tool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm on another board and we have so many meetings and no one else can do
And
any
the
time.
good thing is that it kind of summarizes it, so you can sort of see, oh, 3 people, 2 people, oh, nobody.
All right.
So the bot picks the time. So,
Okay.
and then you get to vote for when you're available. Okay, I will send that out. Let's try to have it soon.
Yep.
So maybe even next week.
Yep.
Next week. And we're allowed to have 3 or can we have 4?
Just no more than half. So do you have 8, 7 people on your HRC
Yes.
right now?
So we can do 4.
Let's say 3 to be safe, right?
3.5.
Yeah. Exactly. I think once you hit 4,
Already
you,
I have 1
I
half.
think once you hit 4, you would be at quorum.
You have Bruce as a bonus for because
Autumn, have you been in recent communication with Eric Work about it? Okay, do you want me to follow up with him and just let him know kind of our status?
Yeah, just let them know we're still working on it. I mean, if you want to give them something, you know, immediately, the quickest thing to just mention is just the laying out of the maps. He could work graphically on that, like bringing out Monroe. Because there's several items mentioned in here that's in the body of the text that there's, you know, that we're just missing numbers here and that there's no way to see that, or in Corvallis either.
Okay.
So blowing up, you know, a little mini of Philomath, Corvallis, Monroe, because then we can delineate which buildings are where in that town.
Okay, like with more like zoomed in. My just kind of thought and preference with these edits, kind of what we already talked about, but just for reiteration, is given how many edits we're finding need to happen, I'm leaning much more heavily toward the wait till we're done kind of side of things, because I don't want to waste the resources of having him. So yeah, I mean, if that's something that you need sooner than later in order to make it easier
No,
to
but-
do the research, we can do that. But if it's,
I'm just trying to, if he needs a job right now.
I don't think you need a
getting-
job. Yeah.
Okay. If he
Yeah.
needs work to be doing,
Yeah.
you know, there, some of the graphical work can be happening and, you know, getting the numbers.
Yeah, I
actually
think
on
that will
the
be a
page.
quick turnaround for him. It's,
Okay,
I think I would much rather give him something that we can say this is like 95% perfect before we ask him to
okay.
use budget to.
That's how I was feeling too. It's like, there's just a lot and, you know, there's lots of little copyright, you know, copy editor sort of things, like what's this for? And,
Yeah.
but we definitely want to see the more historic photos, having this actually feel like a historic brochure. It feels more,
Modern, contemporary, yeah.
like a Chamber of Commerce thing. You know, we were talking about, little thumbnails of the historic,
Yep.
what it looked like then, so we can contrast it with what it looks like now.
And I think you shared all that with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want
I
to give him an update, to let him know kind of, we're still working on it, you know, just so he doesn't,
Yeah.
he's not totally out in the dark.
So there's just, right now, we're in the stage of what's physically there, matching what's in the real world with the map and what's on the paper, and then there's the work of, you know, is all this text accurate? And a lot of it, he was just pulling from the old one. So, I mean, that's a good start, but yeah, this is a big project, and this is our one chance to fight for the next decade. So it'd be nice to have the time to really.
Understood.
So are the resources for the pictures that we might see? I tried to do online searches for them. I didn't find
I
much.
think Inga gave Eric kind of a folder of all the photos that we have had digitized in the
Okay,
past.
so
So,
he's handling the photos.
yeah,
Okay,
so he supposedly has those.
Okay.
So hopefully he can, and if he can't find a certain one, then he can either leave that out, or he should have a database in which to pull from.
Well, and if
Okay.
we get stuck, I mean, we do, like OSU has a pretty big archive, and some of them are still in print, and you can request that they digitize them as well. So, and I think the University of Oregon probably has a
Mhm.
similar archive. I mean, if push comes to shove and we really, something significant, we want an old photo of an original thing or a blueprint or something.
Yeah, we could get it. I know space is an issue. But being mindful too, kind of as we're driving, if we have to make cuts, maybe just make a note, like, okay, if we don't have room for this building, maybe we can let go of this one in order to, you know, talk more about stuff at Finley or.
Yeah, you could just prioritize it. Here's the cut line. Here's my list above the cut line, and here's the cut line. Just make it easy on yourself when you're prioritizing.
Also, I just want to add that for OSU-owned buildings, facility has, like the general office has architectural drawings and blueprints, so they can be, in some cases, even, you know, available as an alternative to historical photographs, sometimes even more
Mhm.
informative. Maybe not the whole set, but you know, some nice elevations, plans. Yeah.
That would be wonderful. I don't know that would have space for as many graphical things as we'd like to see. I don't know. We'll have to see what we have space for, what the budget allows for the print, you know, how
Yeah.
big is this?
Yeah, any kind of like visual stuff that we can get when we do the Google map, you can have any number of images per location. So that would be a place where even over time, we could build out an archive for each location as we discover these pieces. It can be pretty amazing. I mean, we use that tool, obviously, Inspector, so it's really valuable.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm gonna send out the doodle poll for working group meeting hopefully next week, and we'll just, you guys can do your drive and make notes, and perhaps we can set up a time. I can meet with you two and do the updates from your drive. And then I'll do the updates with you guys next week. And we can start working on typing some stuff up. So the sooner the better. All right. Work Preservation Month planning. So glad you're here.
Together,
Together.
two commissions together, planning.
All right, do you have a calendar that you can pull up that we've already started yet?
I think I sent you all some documents. Um, did I not CC you on them?
Was that Morgan who said that?
Morgan said maybe. Probably. It was, I sent a couple of emails following up with you all, kind of following our last meeting with the things you'd asked for is like budget information. There were some attachments, such as like the 2024, meeting calendar.
Okay, so you did, yeah.
I'm just use it pull it up on the screen. Can all see.
Yeah, if you can just share the calendar, then we can. You know, lots of good ideas last time.
Search for from Shannon with attachments.
I think we would love to,
For me.
since you're here, we would love to hear kind of what you're thinking. I mean, we did a big brain dump of ideas at our last meeting.
Oh, did you? Okay.
So we'd love to kind of
Oh,
hear
that one.
what you are thinking.
This one. Yep.
And get a chance to talk
I
about it in
mean,
the last
yeah,
meeting.
last meeting we haven't even started yet. As far as
Not screen
what the city's bringing, what we've done, different things each year, sure we always try to organize a couple projects around town, but don't have anything just yet.
Honestly, we haven't had a lot of projects this year, so it'll be interesting to kind of sift through what we had and see how the commission feels about if any one or two kind of stands out on off the top of my head. Not sure we've got a
Yeah,
significant one.
if anything, just started to think about getting the two commissions together. I mean, Sarah is here, as an employee, and, if we could have some city commissioners in this one or vice versa.
And they're coming at the next meeting.
Next meeting?
Where Alyssa is.
Yeah,
Alyssa.
that just makes it easier.
Yeah, and I know Michelle will want to participate also, but she is sick this week.
Can you share this document on, by email too?
Paula, if you search your emails, this is one that I sent out to everybody, on
It was.
June 6th, I think.
Yes,
It
The
was
6th
February
of this
6th.
So it's from Morgan?
from
Shannon.
Shannon.
From whom?
Shannon.
Oh, from Shannon, okay.
And it was on February 6th.
You should be able to see Morgan's screen share right now, which has it pulled up. You all see the screen share?
Yep.
Yes.
So I know that we have some commissioners who would be interested in assisting with walking tours,
Right.
that kind of thing. The county has done such a fantastic job with this program over the years. We're hesitant to kind of come in and start adding things, but certainly are hoping to support in any way we can. Typically, from a staff perspective, I provide some administrative assistance with securing host locations for specific events, organizing those kind of activities, helping with the ceremony at the end of the month, obviously. Previously, we've been able to participate financially as well. However, we're outside of our CLG grant right now. So I am more than happy to speak with my manager and director to see what kind of funding that we have to help support all of the events over May, this time just out of our regular fund.
And then are the awards, are those coordinated by the city's commission or this county's or
So
jointly?
We kind of
award
jointly
night?
did it last.
Jointly.
What we've done is invited and encouraged the city's commissioners to participate in this process, in these monthly meetings, to participate in the planning meetings as well as in the activities and events over the month. But not wanting to have two cooks in the kitchen, I have been here in a position of providing additional supplemental support and organizational support and funding for certain activities, so.
I was trying to find my notes on, our potential idol.
We didn't,
hadn't settled upon that yet.
we didn't come up with a title last time. My recollection is you all wanted to see what we had discussed last year. So one of the attachments in this email is the meeting minutes from January of 2024, where you'd brainstormed. So we could look at that. We're kind of jogging the memory.
Adrian, I kind of remember a conversation where there was talk about how last year's motto or title or whatever could be played upon for this year's. Do you remember that?
I do vaguely, I mean, like in a broad sense, I'm going through the minutes right now to see if I can pull out. Because it was brilliant. I know that.
Right? We're on the same page with our recollection, broad,
Uh-huh.
but guaranteed to be brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what's here. Oh boy, it's weird reading the things you said a year ago.
Old bridge gone, old things still here.
I think you'll probably get to a point where it talks about, work, education and closing.
Oh, that is this one.
So it's a good poem.
Oh, yeah.
Haiku writing workshop.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy tamale, this is a very long.
I'm trying to find the short list where we just scribbled it down last year.
We did. We had a huge list of things and we decided that last year was going to be trails. And we were going to extend trails for some purpose, but I don't actually recall. Was it like coming into the future or to the present in order to go into the future, something like that? Because I do see we were talking about the trade school that we were working on, and using the trails theme as a launch pad for talking about preservation and the trade school and other ideas that we were fomenting at the time.
Does that look right, Adrian?
No,
Further down the trail?
yeah, no.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It was a trail thing, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
Just focusing on the title, because I think that'll just help inform our.
Yeah. It was probably on the poster. Trails Through Time, something like that, maybe?
That was last
That
year.
was
that was the title. That was last year.
One before with the mirror something windows
Windows.
through time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's not do through time.
No time travel.
I can't find it.
It's definitely in there. I mean, it's, but
There's just a lot of words.
you do a control F. Trails.
Control, I'm on a Mac. Is that Command F?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
So
Let's see.
asking all commissioners with creative
Following trail.
slogans to definitely come with.
Title
You
names.
could task city with that as well. 2025 historic preservation period. Fun.
I'm probably just gonna research like towns on the East Coast that are already doing this.
I thought of that. It's just
Like,
so
smart.
which we know about yourself.
Oh, I don't care.
You do it like someone else.
Historic pres community, we're all about sharing.
Okay, yeah.
Reusing.
Research what's worked well
Yeah.
in Savannah.
Charles. I mean, there's, you've been through it for longer. If I find our list, I will find either Nancy's written notes, I've got them some. Of what we, our good master list. I can email that around.
So there's two HRC meeting minutes here, so it's probably the
Theme
same.
title, theme title.
Theme title.
So there's two that I sent where you guys talked about this, so it's probably in the February one.
Oh, maybe it's in the February one, yeah.
Let's explore trails through time. Mystery, mystery year. Yeah.
Oh, no, I saw Ross.
You see that?
Ross. Yeah.
Right there.
Draws through time.
Trails Through Time, which was the one that happened. Let's explore Trails Through Time. History, Mystery Year, Time Travel.
There's lots of slogans.
Have you all thought about, the types of workshops or events that you're leaning toward that might help inform a theme?
Yeah, chicken or the egg, right? It's kind of like, maybe the
Yeah.
theme can help. I
Totally.
mean, we have things that we did last year that we liked, so,
Yeah, so we've got,
love that.
I would think a good place to start, and I mean, this is just my recommendation, but let's look at our list from last year and think about, like, give it like a X or a check in terms of like things that went well and were well attended. And if it didn't meet those kind of requirements, we'll consider in terms of, do we just need to do more outreach type marketing stuff, or, you know, do we need to change something or just nix it? Cause there's,
Yeah,
I don't know, cause I think we can kind of essentially think about replicating, right? Unless, and then look for ones where we can add more or replace.
I definitely would talk to Gemma and see if, you know, they can do more tours that they've already done, maybe. What?
I don't know who Gemma is.
Oh, Gemma.
Gemma Patterson.
Patterson.
Museum, okay.
Yeah, runs tours, a lot of historic tours. I just went on the seedling to building tour, which was pretty fun. But it would be great to have a few more of those.
Yeah, we could just run through these and see.
Yeah.
Just
Gemma
those down,
did.
that's a really great way to kind of.
Yeah, we'll just do some comment markups. in
Yeah.
PDF.
Yeah.
Like,
Gemma did a live in the margins walking tour, which I think.
Yep.
I don't know how many people went to that. So many. The Tweed ride is already scheduled. The bike ride, the Tweed ride.
That one was popular.
is that all part of the Alive in the Margins?
Oh,
No.
sorry.
No,
I'm just
that
thinking-
was in Albany.
If you guys agree, I'm not gonna tell you how to do this.
No, you're good.
If it's okay, I think it would be helpful for Morgan to take notes and comments right now.
Okay, should we go line by line?
I'll go line by line, yeah. And let's say, you know, like, you know, yay or nay to whether they were good, keep them or not.
I would say
Yes,
Please
on
go.
Gemma.
Walking tours in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's not good or bad, it just is. And if you like those,
Sure. Is it well attended? Cause I think that would.
2 years
that's-
ago, we were really well attended, and last year they were lesser, so.
Okay.
So, and there's so many factors that go into that,
Yeah,
you know, the way we advertised it, the weather,
you know,
that's true.
yeah, you know, so.
I've gone on most of them. I mean, they're all about the same thing
Okay,
in terms of excitement or anything.
Yeah.
There's some presenters are better than others. There's some good
Yeah.
information, so I don't think you lose by
Yeah, I think
cutting
they're
one or
useful.
keeping
Yeah.
one
Okay.
in.
that's kind of what I was thinking too. If we have a presenter who is good at doing it, is available and willing, we might as well hold it, right? And just hope that we have a better turnout.
So, and I don't know how the turnout was on many of these, but this one I think is a valuable one to keep.
I will talk to Gemma and see what, you know, might work with.
We didn't have many. I went on that tour.
Did you?
It was pretty scarce.
Which one?
Might have been
And
advertised.
Gemma's,
Oh, you did?
It was a good tour. We just didn't have many people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when was that, May 2nd? So
Yeah,
maybe there's a time, maybe we could pick a better time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, Autumn, is I don't know if it makes sense to do it now in this first kind of run through, but that is a question in terms of, is there like a better time of the month or whatever to
Yeah.
do a particular type of event? You know, some events just might lend themselves to, I don't, seasonal, because I think we talked about doing some
Or
stuff.
audiences to
Yeah.
advertise it to.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that's a question
Serving
mark.
your family photos.
This was about, it looks like digitizing photos.
That was probably, they have a monthly, a couple of different things. They have one called History Bites. It was a history presentation. That may have been that, or it may have been a standalone presentation at the museum. But they do a nice job every month of having something on the historic dock.
That one runs itself, so
Keep it.
keep it.
Yeah, right?
Say
It
no
gives-
more.
Yeah, it provides access and advertising for the library, and
Yeah.
we can highlight for them what they're doing.
This is one that was at the Albany Library last week or something. Oregon Black Pioneers Organization. Fortunately, they said it started at 10:30 and they only had like a breakfast there at 10:30. Didn't really start till 11. I had something else to go to.
Oh.
So did the mayor, by the way. But their guns for hire. I don't know what they charge us,
Interesting.
but they have like 450 years of, whatever.
I would love to.
So that I can.
Can you see that?
Oh, sure. If you want, I can call them and see what they charge us.
Oh, it is, okay, so they're on separate, because the state just did the listing. It's interesting.
Yeah. Another thing is, OU has a exhibit on history of Chinese Americans in Oregon right now. I don't know if there's anybody who curated that who could come up and talk to us or something.
Museum staff.
You'd probably be able to grab graphics, I would think, out of the exhibit as long as they're not proprietary to OU or something.
It may have data specific to Corvallis too.
Sure.
Yeah, I know Gemma talks about it on some of her tours and shows some of the underground spots and why there's certain,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that history here. Okay, so ideas, that's not on the list here yet, but reaching out to Oregon Black Pioneers to see if there was something they could do a presentation on.
And what they're gonna
Oh,
charge.
there's a
us.
lot. We should reach out to Larry Landis as well.
This
And he
may
could
flip
direct
one.
us. I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry, I was just moving down the calendar of events here on the screen. I feel like that May 4th one got canceled or something. Does that sound familiar?
We don't remember.
Looks like an individual
I
lecturer,
sure
or a
did.
team lecturer.
Yeah, I
Somewhere
don't.
we have, somewhere we have statistics on this. Do we,
That's right.
there's a spreadsheet that has this data on it somewhere.
Sorry, what data? I missed that.
The amount of attendees.
Oh, yeah, we probably do have that. I don't know off the top of my head though.
That would be helpful.
Just so you guys know, Gemma is doing a Live in the Marges walking tour on May 2nd already, so she's probably going to be a shoe-in for this.
Yeah, so let's just put it on the calendar, May 2nd.
So same day.
Same. Yeah.
I want to make like a quick note or question here as we're kind of going through this preparation effort. I'm new to this, Morgan is new to this. We don't really know what all Inga used to do. I don't want this all to fall on you. I see that you're like taking great notes, but I think our kind of expectation is that most of that coordination and outreach is happening on our end.
Oh, yeah, and I
Yeah.
have zero bandwidth.
Okay.
I'm busier than ever right
Awesome.
now.
Yeah, so I think, as far as like contacting all, and just making sure we're all on the same page in terms of expectations. I think all of the, outreach and stuff will be handling, so we just have to be clear of who we're
I'm just
contacting
making
about
notes.
what. Yeah. Okay, that's totally fine.
Myself, what we
didn't want you to think that you were gonna.
I can't.
Yes, Maria Paula?
So I just wanted to mention that I've been contacted by the the Albanese Hunger Committee. And so now they're planning to do to make a museum in the hangar, and they were interested in something for the Preservation Month. 2 years ago, we had a sort of workshop presentation with the students, which was so the audience was small but quite interested, and Inga at that time said, well, we should have advertised it among professionals. Like it's not like the family weekend activity, but it's more like an informative session for professionals and contractors and people that deal with this type of projects. So before promising doing something to them, I was wondering if how if we want to do this, I think it could be a nice addition to the program, but it requires a different approach in terms of advertising and reaching out to the audience.
I love that idea. I think if we did promo it right, it would go really well. And it's nice to have something with that content that, deeper, maybe more professional conversation instead of like the family weekend hanging out and just seeing something cool, like getting into some meat.
Okay, so how we're going to proceed?
I think it's on our list here. So maybe when we get down to it, we can make some notes.
I couldn't find it because we skipped last year. So if this is the list of last year and we are reviewing it, that was offered 2 years ago because I offer the class every other year.
Okay, so we should add it to this year.
Okay, yeah.
Who's the contact person for that?
Yeah, I will write it in the chat. That's too many emails.
Okay, we'll go back to back up to the top so we don't jump around.
So we're on this
There we
one.
go. Okay, so May 4th.
That's an individual lecturer.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know if we can commit them or not?
We can't. It was a special thing. This one, and there's one a little further down for Native Oregonians. They were just special events that we could reach out to them, though they know us, and see if there's other things that the tribes are doing this year, or any of the, like David at OSU, what he's doing, because I know he's got some new stuff going on too. And I'm spacing out David's last name.
Yeah, David Wolf.
And I had sent you at one time there's a paid speaker out of Southern Oregon some way, Native American. Her fee was like $250 for a lecture. So,
Yeah, we definitely, once we start honing in on fees, then that way we'll have to start getting that budget together for what we can spend.
yeah, but that's,
If we can get someone local, like from the tribes or David, that would be amazing. I mean, his book just came out
yeah,
in 2020.
he's not bad celebration.
So I guess Morgan, on this note, yeah, you got it.
Avenue of History, a walking tour. Or of First Avenue.
That would have probably been one of Alicia's,
No idea who did that.
Albany, Jersey.
Do you know who did that?
Which one? The walking tour and all?
Yeah,
Probably.
on First.
Natty dress.
No, and
Yeah,
I
maybe.
didn't attending the Albany tours. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to several of them. He did a really good job too.
So, yeah, let's find out if whoever that is.
Oscar.
Oscar?
That's right.
Okay,
Her, how old, son?
Oscar.
Oscar at the Nettie Dresser.
I think he's now on the
Any-
Albany Landmarks Commission.
He's been on and off over the years. I think he's might be back on. I used to put together the agendas for the
Oh,
Albany
did you?
City
Oh, yeah.
Council. So, but yeah.
Well, speak up, you got all kinds of good ideas. I thought is instead of trying to get people to come to us, we could go to them, like, particularly when I'm thinking of our home nursing homes, probably a more correct term. But they're elderly people. If you go to many of these presentations, my group that's there, and he'd do something like a trivial quiz, bottle of wine or something as a prize or something. Wouldn't have to be fancy, but I think you'd get a lot of interest, and they're looking to book events like that.
It's a great idea.
That's
Yeah,
a really good
that's a
idea.
really good idea. A trivia night or. I've done that. Therapists over.
There's a number of downtown Corvallis drink establishments that have regular trivia, and potentially partnering with one of them to make it a Benton County specific historical trivia might be.
Okay.
Great idea, Gabe.
The Dirt Road has a pretty popular one.
Yeah,
And so
Been to
does
it. It's
Old
fun.
World Deli, Common Field.
yeah, yeah, a lot of, there's a number downtown.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
We could probably get one in each town, so in Albany, one in Philomath, and one in Corvallis.
Yeah.
That's 3 trivia nights.
I don't think that's the target audience that I was talking about.
Again,
No,
It's still a good idea.
Yeah.
Reach, you've gotta reach all.
Reach
The
the full age
wheelchairs are all rolling around.
The great thing about
But-
trivia though is people can show up for trivia, right? They don't
Yeah.
know what the topic's gonna be. So,
Yeah.
But it's under the guise of us going to the, go,
I think it's
people already are.
If there weren't all the beers, would they still be there for the trivia?
that's a great question. Probably not.
Adrian, were you saying something?
I was just thinking both Old World Deli and Common Fields would probably both want to do it.
Also, Old World Deli. It's great venue.
Yeah. Just being in that building, if you think of Corvallis.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're looking for ways to promote what they're doing, since the change of hands and stuff. And they sponsored one of our fundraisers that we did, the Beer Sith, Revenge of the Beer Sith. So they're very much into games, and they're very much into supporting what's going on around them. So, and they're part of the beer trail. I don't know if you guys have seen the jigsaw puzzle, but it's awesome. All the breweries, and I can't remember what the era is, but Old World Deli is one of the,
Nice.
Cool.
which kind of fits into the trail thing anyway.
Yeah.
Alcohol
Linda.
is huge in history.
Yeah.
So is alcoholism.
Well, yeah, but
You said this one wasn't super well attended, right?
Chris was, but I think it was,
Oh, it's a different one.
yeah, because I did one that wasn't, there was only like. I don't remember if Chris did. Oh, he just did a demo at the museum, that's right.
Oh, right, it wasn't a workshop.
No. He did do another workshop
Wrong.
last year, but
And it was to keep their water. I didn't know.
we could find out, we can reach out to Chris, he's super busy, but maybe he would do a little hands-on in his shop, which is downtown Albany, which is a fabulous school building anyway. Um, Maybe he'd be open to that. Even if it was just another hour, 2 hour thing.
From an HRC perspective, those ones are so valuable
Yeah.
to empower
Yes,
property owners.
yeah,
New
I just think,
restoration
I think
instead of
that
replacement.
particular event should be publicized really heavily.
Really
I just think
heavily.
people are really interested in that.
Mhm.
And they will be well attended.
It would be great to have it in his shop. I think, like when I did one, I did it at the Grange. We were trying to bring people
Right.
to the Grange. But just, just bringing all the stuff and it'd be cool to see a big shop, but if Chris can't do it, I could do it. If it's at the end of May, because I'm always going.
Then we don't know somebody that could like talk about the history of the Grange in Oregon or something.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that would
Where are
be
you gonna find
interesting.
somebody like that? I don't know.
Interesting thought.
Throwing it out.
I listened to this art
Changes anyway.
on
CC, yeah.
ELCC about that.
Wish we could get that guy.
I was like driving, I was driving to work and I was listening to this thing and then I was like, that is Jay Sexton's voice.
Yeah, I can do a little pop-up workshop at the end of May if Chris can't, but Chris would be,
Okay.
he's more fun.
On June 1st, we're doing a Spectres event at the museum.
Time?
So, and that's going to incorporate all 3 seasons. So it's going to be a broad appeal from women's rights to Black Oregon pioneers, which would be great to reach out to that group again to tie them into this. There's so many great stories in that realm. And then, of course, Native Oregonians, season 3.
Those are your 3 that you're doing? Topics?
Yeah, they're the first 3 that we did, and that we're revamping that whole thing. So it'll incorporate all 3 seasons. And all those stories, I mean, 12 to 15 different personalities and movements related to all that.
Cool.
And Jay wanted to know what time that event is.
I don't know that we have booked the actual time yet. Let me look in my calendar real quick. It's going to be in the evening. We are going to end up doing a clue hunt. It'll be just like when we wrapped up the last 2 seasons.
Okay.
It's usually full attendant. We were full last season that we did it. And it's a great opportunity. The thing we didn't do and would be really, really cool this year, since it's right after Preservation Month, is to have other organizations present, not just us and HRC and the museum. It'd be nice to have some representatives from each major category of what we're doing. So there's broader resources than what we offered the first 2 go-rounds, if that makes sense. And the other thing I'm thinking is, I know a lot of the building owners down here work with them on one level or another, who are refurbishing some of these older buildings, like the Harding. And maybe we can engage them in this with their buildings and the story. Of course, Lee Eckroth, he's done a fabulous job of storytelling and providing just enormous documentation around the buildings he and Tony have purchased.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that. That's
Because I think if we can get them involved, they tend to put money behind their activities. Maybe they would be interested in sponsoring as well.
It's a good idea, their visions are, are good for the town. We had, as a city, a chance to really have some buildings just die. And we had some individuals that have tried to not let that happen, and their ideas are pretty good. Kind of helpful, to the downtown.
Yeah, yeah, they are helpful. I mean, it's somewhat controversial, right? They're putting a lot of money in these buildings to save them. And so rents are going up. And of course, that kind of rubs some people the wrong way. But all of that is part of evolution, right? This is how we evolve our downtown. This is how we're going to evolve our culture, is by understanding each other's positions, which is the power of history and the power
Well,
of preservation.
The Harding Center, Adriana, is a good example of that, of how they've taken an old school and retrofitted it to allow it to have a new use. Yet you can go in and still definitely see the history, including much of the staff complaining about the old windows that they didn't replace because there's beautiful, it's like, well, it's cold, but no, they're just gorgeous, so it's
Yeah.
just a really pretty building, and it's very useful to this community right now.
We talked last year about doing sort of a tour specifically of the Harding
I'm gonna
School.
work with Eric on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Because
Eric writes-
they weren't ready.
Eric's been great, and he's actually kind of reluctant to do it himself, so I'd like to kind of take
Oh,
over. for
perfect.
him.
And you have some background with
Yeah.
that building.
And I want to try to run it straight up 31st Street, but that's a different tour.
Okay, yeah, that'll be a great addition and a good acknowledgement of the work that was done on that building that hadn't quite been
I'll get hold of
completed by
Eric,
May.
because his wife runs Franklin, and Franklin's been retrofitted as well and preserved, and it could be two schools, so we'll see. I'll talk to Eric as soon as I can.
Morgan, can we go back to the windows? I just had
Yes.
an epiphany. There's these two guys that just started historic windows and restoration here in Corvallis. They are awesome. I would put them before me to give them opportunity to offer that. I need to talk to them because I owe them some emails anyway.
What's it called? Historic window?
Yeah, Historic Windows and Restoration LLC. They're in Corvallis, Coley, Werner. I don't know how to say it.
There you go.
Koerner.
About time.
Yeah, so they're
Really?
so they are kind of coming into the niche because Chris is starting to get too busy and he may be moving and leaving the area.
Mhm.
So these guys are coming in and doing historic windows. So I'd rather support our local business. Tradespeople.
I want to say, I unfortunately need to head out. I've got more things this evening.
Okay, do
But-
you wanna?
Did you wanna-
Skip to, do you have
Yeah,
things you want?
let's- What have we got from the county?
Well, as I'm sure you've been appraised, we're starting interviews for community development director. Months to find a permanent person to fill that spot. I feel like that's relevant to this crew. As you're going through the list of May, just a reminder, May 20th is special district elections. So that's election day for school boards, LBCC, ESD, rural fire protection districts, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a low key day. Nobody really focuses in on those elections unless you're a real big elections nerd like me. I guess I should start. I realize I haven't introduced myself. Hi, I'm Gabe Shepard, Benton County Commissioner, sworn in this January. I was a city councilor before then, and I specifically requested to be liaison to the HRC because my first association with local government was taking minutes for the Corvallis HRC. That was 5 or 6 years ago.
I remember that.
I was a city councilor for 4 years there, liaison to the HRC there for my first 2 years. So I have sat through many public hearings, and had to be the parliamentarian on a few of them as people were trying to work their way through how to do that. So I've got that bit of land use under my belt. I was there when the Hinkle House was that was one of the first.
For me.
Yeah, those were the first meetings I was taking minutes at.
Yeah.
My first council meeting, I believe, was the appeal to council on whether or not to uphold the
The denial of.
denial. Thank you.
Demolition permit.
Yeah, that was my first city council meeting. So yeah, I'm new here. Feel free to stop by, send me an email, gabe.shepherd@bentoncountyor.gov. You can find me on the website. Come by for tea. We'll talk about all sorts of things. I got a whole tea set up in my office.
Well,
Can I tell them a little bit about you too, Gabe?
Yes,
That I
ma'am.
know? Gabe's a gamer.
Sure.
And
Yes.
he has written some at-home live-action role-playing games. So when I first met Gabe, that is the umbrella we both were wearing at the time, is game development.
Yeah, I had written some murder mystery dinners, and we were gonna work together on one, and then COVID happened, and so we couldn't have anybody together, and it didn't end up working out. But I see Adrienne at the Game Con and things like that in Corvallis. I play D&D and I run D&D sessions too. So
nice.
yeah.
Well, good. That means we can have some more lively HRC experiences.
Oh yeah.
We don't want to take away from.
Exactly.
Keep it up a little.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for
Gabe's not busy enough. We're gonna have him work on Spectres.
Good. Well, we're excited to have you. Thank you.
yeah, I'm sorry I have to go.
No, it's fine. We can.
Prep. I'm off to, I guess the last update I've got, Commissioner Wise and I are going to DC. We're leaving on Friday for the National Association of Counties conference in DC. We're going to be there Wednesday, and it's going to be an interesting time.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that for the time being.
We look forward to
Yeah.
it.
But yes,
Oh, but we are
thoughts.
personally very interested to learn how historical preservation will be considered
Me too.
Yeah.
from now
Yeah.
on. Now, I mean, I'm directly experienced how research is considered now. So if it has any value for the future
Yeah.
of this country.
Yep, that great and excellent questions that I think there are more questions than there are answers right now, all the way to the top. So yeah.
Yeah, I know all the bunch of Park Service people are HRC are already reaching out to try to find jobs now. Yeah, so
Yep.
we're gonna try to keep doing our work.
Yep.
We are volunteers. We are not funded. We will keep trying to do what we can.
The advice that our lawyer has given us, that Vance Grody has given the commission, and that we've heard from around is keep working, keep doing it. And if anything happens, we'll get to it when we get to it. But for now, we have to keep going. Otherwise, just stop. That's not an option. So yeah, keep doing good work, keep planning for things, keep planning for Historic Preservation Month, keep going. Yeah. So thank you all for having me here tonight.
Yeah, we'll just keep brainstorming through the list.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, have a good night.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have a good next thing.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, where are we now?
We are at the Second Avenue walking
We
tour.
really need Alyssa to understand what the Landmarks Commission is.
We can ask at our next meeting, we
Oh,
can
for
go
next
through
month, yeah.
these Albany walking tours with her.
Yep.
Okay. So something.
ALYSSA.
Has anyone been on the Tweed ride in this room?
No, but I'm
I'm interested to
inspired
see
go.
how they manage the logistics of the safety, of the intersections, that kind of thing. How Albany.
This year was in Corvallis.
I mean, without any logistical safety management, it's really just a tour guide saying, hey,
Yeah.
be careful back there. Wait for that car. You know, it's kind of.
Yelling architectural terms and pointing at their heads.
So
That's
it's in Corvallis this year. It's on Sunday, April 13th.
It's in Corvallis,
Yeah,
They might just have you do like a liability waiver type thing.
Sunday, April 13th.
yes.
Hmm.
Slow
And
speed
that
right
has
around
nothing
town.
to do with the city in any way. Like the
April
city's,
15th?
like the city's not, but there's no, no cones, no.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, that creates a lot of additional
Usually
logistics
with
though.
10Ks
and things.
Yeah,
you know.
but they shut down the road to
Right,
do that.
yeah, I mean, it just, you know,
I think I'm gonna go to that.
you know, small versus big versus like, how does that all work? You know, so it's just maybe a waiver and then just come with me.
Yeah. For like something like a 10K, this is just my best guess, and actually, Sarah, you might know more about this with the city of Corvallis, but they're probably collecting some revenue, you know, to offset some of the costs of like shutting down the, you know, just like the logistics of all that, where it's something like this, where it's just volunteers, you don't know how many people are gonna show up, shutting down the road is more of an ordeal to take on. I don't know, Sarah, do you know any kind of details about the,
I think that's like Parks and Public Works.
yeah,
handle that kind of
yes,
stuff.
it is in the county too. and
Yeah,
We have to like sign off on those permits, but it's very
Right.
complicated to
think so.
pull all that
Yeah.
off, yeah.
the South Central Park neighborhood walking tour, do we know if Doug is interested in doing that again this year?
We don't. Now Doug was the coordinator, and we can talk about it at the city meeting as well, of a meeting of several interested, you know, future
That's
tour
right.
guides.
Mhm.
But then there was never any follow-up. So
Okay,
Doug's gonna be kind of key as to what's going on with Corvallis tours this
Yeah.
year. In his opinion.
yeah, he was talking about kind of wanting to grow up new tour guides. and-
Yeah, so we don't know. We need to
Okay,
get with Doug.
well, we need to talk to Doug.
Yeah.
And actually, Morgan, I can do that.
Thank you.
Not to get off subject, but I was just looking to see what the national theme for historic preservation was this year. It's Past Forward, celebrating 75 years of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. So if we didn't want to create our own theme, we could piggyback on theirs.
Bob, are you sure that that's the actual theme? Because that has been,
It's just used a lot.
Maybe that's the name of the conference.
okay, because the conference in October 2024 was past.
It is
Forward.
called.
Okay.
So that's, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not their,
that's not their actual like.
but the idea is there is.
So they haven't decided yet. Its potential is breaking down barriers that divide us.
Workshopping the past. Things out, I'm just tossing them in the wall, you know, and seeing if they stick.
Streetcar tour sounds fun.
But celebrating 75 years of the National Trust for Historic Preservation would be worthwhile to recognize in our advertisements also.
Adrian's not gonna approve that. We need a sexier title. We need a jazzier title.
That's another,
Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, yeah,
You're on
Adrian,
mute.
you're muted. Oh, Commissioner Fritz, you're still muted.
Good delay.
It's like the
At
crowd.
least I'm over here entertaining myself. I zoned out for a second because what I found was Preservation Week's theme, which is preserve the past, shape the future, inspiring the next generation of preservation professionals. But that's just a
Dang,
week.
good. Yeah. Well, we'll do some more homework and maybe we can come up with our little list and then share it at the next meeting.
Just want to do a little time check here
Yes.
too.
Okay, yeah, we need to roll. Okay, so maybe we're not gonna get through this whole list tonight.
No.
that one I think is another one that runs itself. I think,
Let's
Well,
go.
Yeah.
they've done it every year.
right,
And the Cumberland Church, I'm sure, is gonna do it again with their.
because that one was the 132nd birthday celebration.
Well, they're trying to continue. Or they'll be willing to do that.
Okay. All right, so maybe, yeah, let's set ourselves a limit.
The promo poster is components of an historic window, of a wood window and components of it. And it's
Didn't we do
like
that?
peering into the past.
We did that 2 years ago.
Yeah, we did that last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Okay.
Just
2
roll
years
through the
ago.
rest of the month, just so we can look at it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, we've also got an OSU walking tour of the historic district.
Larry,
Larry,
he's
yeah.
count on him for that.
I think for now, just a suggestion, don't worry too much about who can and can't do it, but just like quality, I would think, you know,
That's a
and
great-
just, if we have to, we'll do the outreach and figure out if the person can do it or not,
He
but.
just has tons of knowledge. He's just locked in on that.
The SE Young thing is Oscar, whatever his name is, Holt, does a great job on that. The cemetery cleaning Inga went to, she and her partner, I think, were the only ones there. She's
Oh,
been,
bummer.
She loved it.
It would still be worth trying to offer that. Again, you know, trying to get some skills, a few skills opportunities. So the window clean, restoration.
I think it's a problem with us trying to get people out.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe should we do presentations at the museum, you know, or, you know, I mean, because, you know, Willamette Grange's thing didn't get many people either, you know, it's,
We had so many competing things, I remember
Yeah.
last year.
What about doing something like that at Crystal Lake Cemetery? Just for, yeah, because I agree, Jay, I think it's like where's the population?
Gets a lot of talk. People are interested in that location, I think.
Just for ease of access.
Yeah, and ease of access.
Yeah.
I was thinking Maui.
It doesn't matter to me what, but just something close by that we can.
you know,
get to easier.
another way that we might be able to do it too is maybe like pick a day of the week and have like 5 same day, same time of the week for the whole month presentations at a particular location like the museum.
Mhm.
And it's the Historic Preservation Month series.
Yeah,
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 I think
yeah,
that's a great. idea.
yeah. Exactly. That's a good
It
idea.
would be nice to also have that set up at the Philomath Museum too.
Sure.
It's a little,
I mean,
They
it could
want-
be there.
they want some
It could be there.
Need some love.
They need some love.
little
That definitely
PowerPoint
makes
presentations,
scheduling easier.
Miniature
Yeah.
history TED Talk.
We might need to look for another place. The museum is really, really full in May, which is why the Specters thing was pushed back to June 1st. So,
I wonder
We
if
could
Lee
think of
Eckroth
other-
has,
what's that?
I wonder if Lee Eckroth has some space that's not being used right now that could host some things.
Bet he does.
I bet he does.
Well, I'm trying to think. He's filling his spaces fast, and the spaces that aren't filled right now are under construction. I don't know what the ETA is on getting that complete, like across the street, the Starbucks building.
Yeah.
But
Hard to ask.
for sure, and then Alan Ayers, he has Rob Nets, and his mom owns a couple buildings, and there are businesses in there, but perhaps we could enroll the business in opening the space because those are wide open spaces.
Well, that's also the oldest commercial space in town. It's the oldest commercial business that.
What is?
The Robin.
Robin's.
Nets, yeah.
Commercial structure.
Oh, yeah, I'm second.
And they ran, the Tarweed did their craft, winter craft fair there this year, so maybe Alan will be open to us using that as a space for talks instead of the museum.
It's a super cool building.
I am happy to ask Alan just because he's awesome and.
Yeah.
talked to him in a
He
while.
is awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool venue.
Yeah, that's a great
Well,
idea.
and then Old World Deli is a great location.
It is. Would we have to lease that space though?
So let's,
No.
you know,
Well,
take a look.
let's engage them. It could be a trade of sorts, like they get promotion and we get the space.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, if we did have like a series of talks in a single place that was easy to get to and people weren't like worrying about driving out someplace in the night or whatever, you know, maybe we would get better attendance.
That's,
And
yeah,
it would self-reinforce. Oh yeah, Thursday at 7. Oh yeah, Thursday at 7. Oh,
Yeah,
Thursday
yeah.
at 7.
yeah, it's an event. I agree. It's a good
That's a great idea. We should also ask the theaters.
That's
Like
what I
that.
was thinking, Adrian, yeah, the White Side Theater, or whatever, to do a kickoff event, like a old movie, like a old black and white movie or something would be really cool.
Yeah, or I can't remember if I don't know if they have any organ music going on in there. We should talk,
Well,
because
that
what
would
would
be
be really,
fun.
really cool is to have an organist come in, even if it's electronic, to reprise the ghost organist who is there. And that was part of our first season. I mean, she was a murderess, but whatever.
Like I said, spicing it up. Great. Okay, let's,
Spicing it up, but the White Side's a really great place, and I know the group is looking for ways to get the word out, because they've completely shifted how they're doing things and who's doing it. The board is running it now, so they could use all the publicity they can get.
yeah, that's a great idea.
Oregon's Trail of Tears, that was a beautiful presentation by,
We ate a lot of sandwiches, didn't
Yeah.
Nolan Freeberger is the artist who did that, and he put so much time and care, and
Yeah, we saw his.
we? We had what, like 5 people? in
and
the-
most of them were us and his family members.
Yeah, it was.
So it was not well attended at all, and I felt so bad.
Where was it?
about that. It was at the library
Yeah.
meeting room, but it was also on at 5:30 on a Sunday evening. So I think
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
there were some struggles with the time,
Right.
the day. I think he reprised that just in the past couple of months, didn't he, at some other location?
He got sponsored by the Albany Regional Museum. I finished his work.
Oh, nice.
I think it is wonderful work. It would be great if we could
I'd
find
love it.
a better time or venue or place.
Yeah,
And now that I think that the work is complete now, I haven't checked the website lately. but
yeah, I
maybe-
haven't either. But that one was
Yeah, that would be a
absolutely-
great one. That would be a great one at the White Side.
Yeah. Okay, do you wanna just do quickie scan?
Like,
Yeah, just go through it. We don't have to
Okay.
take all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to remember, remember what it is.
Keep
Grand
or
walking
not to
tour.
keep.
I don't remember that.
On a tour, we maybe had 8 people at. It was a really nice tour, really interesting, I thought.
It'd be really neat. I want it to be a time I can come though, all right?
Let's just keep on going.
Okay, yeah.
The more we can,
Okay, all right.
Question mark on that one, Atomic Ranch walking tour, that always just goes. That one is a long-standing walking tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gotta be in there.
Keep, all right. Masonic Temple, do you wanna keep?
Keep.
I would love that. That was so cool.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
love to be-
Yeah.
Okay, history through headstones, historical and medicine. I'm not
Anything
sure
about
about
that
that.
one? Ask Alyssa maybe.
Brainchild, oh, that's, yeah.
I don't remember how many people we had, but it was,
What was it?
not many. Less than 10.
Do you wanna do it
That's
again?
unfortunate.
Maybe I could do a Grange history talk in the series if we do something
Oh, there
like
you go.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind having a tour time too, and we should really be
Oh, yeah.
much closer to finishing by then.
Close enough to host the.
I bet
event.
Jessica would want to do
Oh,
something
easily.
again.
That's a great idea.
It's far.
Yeah. Easily, because we got sheet rock, we've got HVAC, we got the electrical. We got a massive professional screen.
That would be cool.
I've seen it. It is massive.
Can confirm, massive.
Okay.
I
Owen-
think-
more.
I
Owens
think-
Farm.
I think it would be.
Jay, what's the date on that it's to be finished?
I'm not gonna say that.
Okay, close.
You never commit on a construction.
No.
That's up to the
Finished,
contractor.
it won't be this year. I'm just saying that like the major stuff, not the trim.
Okay, keep
Okay.
or.
So, just one more thing.
Owens Farm. I think
Yes,
even if
keep
it's
it.
not Owens Farm, Greenbelt will want to do something.
Yes.
One of their properties.
Virginia History Historic Preservation Celebration.
Okay,
That's
we
our
already did
end,
that.
that's our end of the month celebration that we're now talking about doing at Willamette Grange.
But we'll keep it.
Definitely keep it.
Meet Your Streets Corvallis Walking Tour.
This is getting into June and
Okay, yeah, we're into June. Well, last year we were trying to like stretch it all out.
no,
We're gonna cap it here.
Okay.
We're not
Then
June.
Shannon, update on the interim.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to continue the agenda? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a quick update for you all on our HRC internship. So we had 16 applicants for that. Can you believe? We had 0
Wow.
last time and now we had 16.
Is it a paid?
I saw your
It's
email.
paid, yep. And I kind of marketed it differently as a GIS internship with like focusing on historic resources. So basically everybody was on, yeah, so just kind of flip it a little bit. We have some really good applicant pool. Morgan helped with reviewing
Yeah, some
and we're solid.
Excellent
Yeah.
applicants.
Yeah, so we'll be interviewing early next week, hopefully making a decision by end of next week. It shouldn't take long, it's an internship. And we'll start within 2-3 weeks.
Cool.
Wow.
So,
How exciting.
What's the duration?
we can only fund it through the end of June because it's paid for by the CLG grant. So they basically have to get as far as they can, and I actually think it's doable, for them to complete the work that we're asking, by June 30th. The other idea I had that I'll just pose to you to like keep in the kind of back of your mind, I think one thing that we could ask the intern to do, because we've kind of built this to be flexible and to say like, and what are you interested in? Like, how would you like to build upon this internship to make it valuable for you too? I think a cool way we could do that is also doing a story map kind of component to this. I don't know if y'all are familiar with story maps, but it's basically like using GIS it makes it look more like a website. Like an interactive website, you can like zoom in and out. So I'm thinking it could go hand in hand really nicely with a driving tour booklet and the work coming out of that. So kind of trying to find a way we can dovetail those,
I was wondering about that. We put all of our neighborhood walking tours into story maps.
Yeah, exactly, something
Then
like
we
that.
could read more.
Yeah, very
Exactly.
easy to do too.
Our
Yeah.
printed thing is gonna be.
Exactly,
Limited
yeah, and some
price.
people will want the printed version to take in the car, for example,
Well,
but
we
other
can add
people.
more of the photos and the blueprints
Yeah.
that we were talking about and
Yeah.
have it really build that out.
Yep, so I can't make any promises, of course, so we'll just be forthright about that, but I think it's a good possibility that, just depends on how much time it takes them really.
Yeah.
So that's the update on the
Okay.
HRC internship.
Cool, so that's items from staff, and do we have anything from our group? In addition to all that we have done? No. Right. We can adjourn. Thank you, everyone.
Yay!
Got it done by
Maybe-
8.
I don't want to reduce your happiness, but a quick, just a quick update.
Okay, yes, please.
Oh, got it.
So yesterday I went to for a site visit of the Fichte House at the Riley what is the name? The wildlife refuge area.
Oh, yeah.
And because they were like somehow discovering one of my old messages in which I was looking for projects for my students, and they showed me, okay, the house, it's and it's one of the oldest buildings in the county, and it's in their need of care. It's on public land, so it's particularly
Victor House.
Okay.
yeah, and so basically after my visit, I thought probably will be a little bit complicated to offer it as a project for the students because there are problems of access to the parts that should be analyzed and so on and so forth. But I told them that I would put this, tell about this to the commissioner, to this commission, to maybe keep this in mind on our radar and maybe for future conversations. One of the things is maybe helping them identify some grants, some funding opportunity, or connecting them to people like companies that do this work, because they said that they are really struggling finding somebody that can repair the porch and so on and so forth. So
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can set up a workshop. I mean, maybe maybe we can set up a hands-on workshop, charge tuition, which can help get the work done and bring an instructor in to do some of the work, depending on what they need. So maybe finding out what
physical work needs
So
to be
maybe
done.
we could invite them next time during our next meeting so that they can explain a little bit what their struggles are and what they need. And, we can maybe discuss. I don't know if this is something, because now May is approaching fast and there are many other things to discuss, but I just wanted, to mention this and think if there is a way we can support or, somehow provide any type of support to them. And I can forward an email to this group here so that you know what I'm talking about. And also you have the contacts if you want to invite them.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love to go out. Maybe the next step is we could go to them. We could set up a time for some of us to go walk through the building and get our eyeballs on it and.
Yeah. Yeah, I went there yesterday. It's a little interesting old building
Yeah,
with a lot of issues.
Talk to him tomorrow.
of course, they all do. Okay, we'll put that on our radar.
Okay.
And this could be a good platform for our marketing too. Cool.
Great, thank you all. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Adjourned. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Morgan.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming, Sarah.
Fifty.
Hold on, isn't that a national wildlife refuge site? Yeah, I think that's gonna present some challenges.
It's the, they have a